Bitcoin Yala. The latest news, price updates, strategies, fun ways to build wealth, that's our mission. Join the community, subscribe now, empower yourself, have a blast, learn from experts, play and explore. In the world of Bitcoin, we're the guide. Subscribe, Bitcoin Yala, Bitcoin Yala.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bitcoin Yala. My name's Scott, and in this episode, we're getting caught up again. Some things have happened that I thought I need to bring to light to explain to you all about, so to bring you up to speed. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. For those new to the channel, hello, my name's Scott, and to get you caught up, I just met someone by the name of Mia, and I explained Bitcoin to her for the first time. So she had heard about Bitcoin. I've said this on many other videos about people I meet, and I explain Bitcoin to them. And this particular person I explained Bitcoin to, she'd heard about it, like many people have, but she didn't know that much about it. So Nia, if you're watching, like you said you were going to watch this episode is for you and everyone else who's new to crypto. And you OGs, you'll appreciate some of these nuggets that I'm going to drop as well. So let's jump right into it. Well, the title I chose for today is Bitcoin's Boring Until It's Not. And the picture I chose for this episode is ping pong. I used to play it as a kid growing up in Boston and in Washington, D.C. We played ping pong. We had a ping pong table. So me and my sister Sabrina would play and other family friends who'd come over. So what happens in ping pong? You hit the ball back and forth, back and forth. And that's what's been happening with Bitcoin. So sometimes this is post dip or post crash. It's now going sideways again. And it's boring until it's not. So that's why I thought this image that I created was perfect. Just showing two Bitcoin people hitting the ping pong ball back and forth. Nothing exciting is happening. Every once in a while, someone will get excited and hit the ball and it'll go up really high. And then every once in a while, hitting it back and forth, someone will miss the ball and the ball will go down. And that's exactly what happens with the price. So let me show you. Let's go right to an illustration. All right, let me remove that. And whoops, I'm a little too quick on the draw. Here we go. So as you can see here, this chart showing the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has just been going along. Today is December 9th. And then pow, it pops up. Okay, it was down around 90,000. Now it's 94,000. Okay, so 4.2% gain in 24 hours. That's pretty good. That's volatile. So let's zoom out a little bit. Let's look at 7 days. Past 7 days, it was around this, and then it dropped. Someone missed the ping pong ball, went off the table, and it dropped. So this is the volatility the other way. Okay, and to zoom out a little more, let's look at a 3-month chart. Those of you remember the big crash everyone was afraid and going crazy about when Bitcoin was around 120, 25,000, dipped all the way down here to about 80 something thousand. Let's see if I can pinpoint it, 83,000, right? Some people got liquidated. Some people lost a lot of money because they took out Bitcoin loans and were over leveraged. So my heart goes back out to all of you who did that. Hopefully next time that won't happen. If you're still in the market, I hope you are. And next time, for those of you who are liquidated, please try to take a little less leverage to not make that happen or risk that happening. But I understand for those of you who did it, because I've done it too. So I definitely understand. But all right, so Bitcoin is volatile. Now, why did I say it's like ping pong and goes back and forth? The reason I said that is because most people expect when they get involved in Bitcoin for everything just to be exciting and for it to shoot straight up, okay? Sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it doesn't. Most of the time when you get in Bitcoin, you're looking at this. You're looking at this sideways motion and you're saying, those of you who I tell people every day about it, you guys are saying, Scott, nothing's happening. It's just going back and forth. So it's kind of boring. I think I'm going to take my money out. Really? Even though I explain to everyone I talk to, I say it's going to go up and it's going to go down and then it's going to go up and down. And over the long period of time, if you base it off of the long-term chart, you can see the direction on which Bitcoin is going. Again, I did an extensive dive on this in the last video because people were very afraid. But this video, I won't spend much time on that. But it goes up, it goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So it keeps going up and down, but look at what's happening over time. And I have to be very careful of how I word these videos because sometimes I get my videos blocked. Sometimes different channels and venues, they take them down because people think I'm quoting what it's going to do. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you what it's going to do. It's going to go up and down, both. It's going to do both. But over a period of time, you can see what's happening, and I'll leave it at that. Okay. So that's what's happening with Bitcoin currently. Now, what is affecting Bitcoin? What in the news is causing it to do what it's doing? And what is happening in the news that is causing it to do things like this here? Boom, right? Pow. Or in the last 24 hours, what's causing it to do this? Boom. Okay. So many of you OGs already know, but some of you, I bet, don't know the recent news. So we're going to get right to that on what's causing it to jump recently. So let me dive right in there, take this chart off, and let's go to the news. Okay, here's what's happening. So the first thing I wanted to point out was this, that let me go ahead and script this over here. PNC Bank. Okay. This is news. This is big. Okay. This just came out recently. Okay. PNC Bank. This is someone, whoops, getting ahead of myself, getting excited. PNC Bank is now offering for their private clients to buy, sell, hold Bitcoin in their accounts. Okay. PNC is the first major US bank to support this type of offering. Okay. So this is huge. This is huge. Again, banks used to be the enemy of Bitcoin. They used to always say, don't touch it. Only drug dealers use it. It's only on Silk Road, the black market. And that's what many people still think about in their minds. But since then, the president and his staff are big Bitcoin fans and own Bitcoin. Head of the FBI own Bitcoin, and many of the top cabinet positions are Bitcoin fans and they own Bitcoin. Institutions and now banks are able to deal with Bitcoin where before they were not. So the tide is turning and it's shifted. And Bitcoin, anyone who has Bitcoin, we've won. We've already won. Now it's just playing out. And this news is showing that. So that's the first big news piece. PNC Bank private clients can now buy, sell, and hold Bitcoin in their existing accounts. Okay, major development, which is helping to lead towards what, Scott? It's helping to lead towards this, boom, this little jump. Okay. All right. Next piece of news that's helping us to move forward in Bitcoin. And for those of you new to Bitcoin, this should give you confidence. Okay. Just like my lucky shirt that I have on brings me confidence. Well, this next piece of news should help to bring you all confidence. And that is this. Okay. Now for this one, the OCC, what does that stand for? Well, the OCC stands for the Office. Let me make sure I get this right. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. They put out a new interpretive letter 1188. Okay, so what does the letter mean and what is the news on it? Well, letter 1188 is, okay, well, first, the OCC is the US federal regulator that oversees national banks. Okay, the letter clarifies for the first time that national banks are allowed to act as riskless principal intermediaries. I know a lot of big words for crypto trades. All that means is that banks can now match a customer who wants to buy Bitcoin with another person who wants to sell or execute the trade. And this is done without the banks having to hold crypto themselves. Okay, so that's huge. So that's without putting the Bitcoin on their own balance sheet. So in plain English, banks can facilitate Bitcoin trades for customers without becoming owners of the Bitcoin themselves, so they don't have to take on the risk, the price risk, or the custody obligations. Now that's huge news. Okay, why does this matter? Okay, well, with 1188, banks can now easily move crypto trading services, lowering the friction from retail or institutional clients who want to buy and sell Bitcoin. Okay, so I'm not going to get into the weeds of the technical jargon because for a lot of newcomers that turns you off. I get it. But what this really means is it's going to help Bitcoin adoption to mainstream people, okay, which helps to the price going up. Okay. So that's a contributing factor to the Bitcoin pop that we just had recently seen. Okay. Another thing I wanted to talk about was this. Okay. The third piece. Now, this is basically showing some of the large Bitcoin buys. If you guys remember in my last video, and if you haven't seen it, make sure you watch my last video, because that was when everyone was panicking and freaking out. And I said, as I always say on this channel, this is a buying opportunity when you see it dip. And speaking of that, who followed me up on that, or who listened to that? Well, these institutions here, you had Binance buying a lot of Bitcoin. You can see it right there. You had Coinbase buying a lot of Bitcoin. BlackRock, we all know Larry Fink and BlackRock. BlackRock has their fingers and everything. They're more powerful than a lot of countries. They bought a lot of Bitcoin, as well as some random Bitcoin whales. That means people who have a lot of money. They bought a lot of Bitcoin too. So the smart money, if you will, they see this as an opportunity, and they're buying Bitcoin when it dips like this, where average people like you and me may get a little nervous when we see our money drop. Remember, I talked about my friend Amy, who got mad at me and like didn't even talk to me for a while because she saw her Bitcoin balance drop. She got in when Bitcoin was higher, and then it dipped, and then she freaked out and got all upset. Remember that? I told you guys about that. Well, that's a perfect time, Amy, if you're still watching, to buy more, just like these people did, because they recognize the dip. And what happens when you buy at a dip like that? Well, let me show you. Okay, when you buy a dip like that, and it's down low like this, and then when it pops up, boom, your account grows even more because you're buying at a lower price. So your average purchase price is going lower, which means when Bitcoin goes up, and remember the chart, it goes up, it goes down. When it goes up, your account is worth even more. Okay, so this is how the rich get richer. Okay, that they buy when it dips, when it crashes, and everyday people are scared and selling and freaking out, saying, "Oh, I don't know I'm gonna lose my money," just like you, Amy. You got mad at me, and now you're not mad at me because you saw it go back up. So, so just take a step back, take a deep breath if you're nervous about the Bitcoin volatility, because if you look at the long-term chart, once again, let's go out. Let me go out longer than that. Okay, you see it going up and down, down for a while, and then up, down, up, down. And now we're here, okay? So, but most important thing in all of this, you guys, is to do your own research, okay? Please do your research. Please watch videos like this where you can see these news articles, PNC Bank being the first bank now to offer Bitcoin, right? You also have, another thing I wanted to talk about was you have Harvard University making major purchases in Bitcoin. They originally bought Bitcoin, and then they doubled down and bought even more Bitcoin. Okay, so that's Harvard University, Ivy League, some of the best and brightest minds in the US. Okay, if they're buying Bitcoin, then why are you afraid, right? Think about that. Okay, if the top seats in the cabinet from the presidential office, they're all buying Bitcoin, right? And you better believe their lawyers, their researchers, they uncover every stone before they put a drop into anything. They really research. So something to think about for you. But again, let's recap. PNC Bank, okay, first bank to do that, to make it accessible to their clients, Bitcoin from the bank. Then you have the OCC, right? They made it, the OCC, now they're federal, they're over all the banks, and they made it possible through their letter 1188 to make it so that now banks can offer riskless principal intermediaries. Can't talk today. So they made it possible where they can help people to buy and sell Bitcoin without banks owning the Bitcoin. So what they're doing basically is they're laying the groundwork so people can buy Bitcoin easier than ever. Now, it's going to take time to roll all this out, but as it rolls out, you'll see more and more people buying Bitcoin. And usually when that happens, it's easier for people to buy it, and more people will buy it. And then those of you who watch the channel and are already in reap those rewards. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So that's what I try to do, help all of you, as you know, to do well for you, your family, your organizations, and we all prosper together. And that's the purpose of this channel, to help you all have money for retirement and have money for your family and your future. So spread this video with others. Hopefully you like the video, like, subscribe. Thank you for being patient, and thank you for leaving comments. And we will all see you on the next one. Take care and good night, everyone. Have a good day or night, depending on where you are.